Raziel swore he would be back by supper. His meaningless errands would constantly throw me into confusion. As why would he need to traverse the lands in order to acquire such trivial ingredients for his concoction? Did it all have a deeper meaning? Was this an attempt of his to overthrow me? I could not fathom his mind, and yet it still rested in the back of mine as an ambient sound I could not drown out. Perhaps it was not me he tempted with this challenge, but fate itself.
The possibility struck me as the eons burned away in the oven. Was this another of Mobius's plots? Had I unwittingly stumbled into his bidding by something as simple as what had seemed at the time an irrelevant transaction into what ended up being another step towards my inexorable fate? Had not I instead chosen for the brownies, would events have transpired otherwise, the timeline adjusting itself again to avoid an unbearable outcome? The stench of it all assailed me through unknown means. And behind it all I could hear Kain's mocking laughter as he dangled the answers to my culinary paradox, as if to torment me, forever spurring me on in his own twisted game.
I sat upon my cushioned throne, gazing into this black box, spewing its ruinous contents. Raziel's despair, magnified by my interruption, was a scene I relished, but none of it mattered. It would take him over a millennia to realize that this ordeal was ultimately orchestrated by me. All of Raziel's trials upon the common market and my minor challenges of his petty craft were merely small, intricate plays in a greater game. For all of this would culminate in something far grander than his visions allowed him to see.
The misery of my visage paled in comparison to the travesty that befell me as the heavy door slid open. My confection stood corrupted, the edges blackened and burned as a taunting edifice of sponge, condemning my meal to failure. Was I locked on this path, an unending cycle of poor desserts? Did destiny demand my palate go unsatisfied, some preordained misery in place millennia before even Kain's birth? It was at that moment that my thoughts were interrupted by the intrusion of the voice of Kain himself, who had often condemned my attempts to alter my culinary destiny.
Do not meddle in the eclairs of men, Raziel.